Hello and welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 30th of May for the Sun or the Ascendant. I'm going to give you the standout issues and strands to look out for. Please stay with me. I will then dive deep to give you in forensic detail each of the 12 zodiac sign forecasts. Now this week of course begins with a new moon in Gemini. Now, Gemini energy is all about how we think. It's very nimble and agile, can be very amusing, very much to do with sharing ideas and interacting in a bright and bubbly way. But of course, the moon is very much how we feel about things, and the sign of Gemini is very much more about how we assess things from a more logical viewpoint. So one of the things that we can do over the next month is to meld our drive and our ideas much more closely to how we actually feel. So it's an opportunity for sure. Now, this is also a week when Mars and Jupiter continue to be very closely together. The exact conjunction actually happened as last week came to a close. So that combination can give us a lot of thrust, a lot of traction, a lot of enthusiasm in the sign of Aries. That's very much about getting things off the ground. But both the position of Mars and Jupiter are forging a relatively positive angle to Venus, which of course has now returned to the sign of Taurus, which it governs. So that thrust and the ideas energy that the new moon has given us in Gemini can certainly see us working towards making the most of our resources, which Venus in Taurus can be very good at grappling with. It can also give us an appreciation of good food and good wine and more sensual pleasures as well. But then on Friday, Mercury ends its retrograde, also in the sign of Taurus. So, we've all being challenged by this new financial reality which is kicking in, and it has been retrograde since the 10th of May and in the sign of Taurus since the 23rd of May. But then on Saturday, Mercury comes out of shadow, but also Saturn goes into a retrograde in the sign of the people, the collective, the sign of Aquarius. So it's possible through to the 23rd of October that we're going to be more mindful, I think, over a period of time of how connected we are to one another. I'm going to do a special on the fact that Saturn and Uranus are going to go through a square again within 3 degrees from the 11th of August. So please look out for that. But the other thing to tell you is that Mercury, despite that retrograde, is actually in a very subtle but powerful link to Neptune. So one of the things that we can do this week is listen to our hunches, because they can serve us very well indeed. So Aries, your week commencing the 30th of May weekly forecast is really still very exciting. Your sign has a real passion and ability to be very much in the moment and to take decisive action. Not every zodiac sign finds that easy at all, but that quality of yours is really turned up to max with that thrusting combination between Mars and Jupiter, and with the new moon in Gemini, the speed of your thoughts, your ability to articulate yourself very crisply, but also say how you feel, is also going to be emphasized and helped. But I think your financial situation, however it is, can improve as this week goes on, even if it's to the point of actually just really understanding exactly where you stand. But all that energy of newness that's coming in is, I think, going to give you a lot of ability to think on your feet, to spot opportunities, to know the ones to walk past and not get tempted by, but also the ones to listen to your instincts and go for them in a very powerful way. But Saturn's retrograde does point towards the fact that from now through to the 23rd of October, there could be some long-term aims and also friendships that do fade away to be replaced by ones that are actually more solid, more tenable, and much more for the longer term. And that's really the longer term progression of this week's influences. But certainly in the here and now, an absolutely effervescent collection of energies supporting you in a very dynamic way.